Welcome back to Jersey Matters. I'm Larry Menti. We continue our conversation now with Republican New Jersey Congressman Tom MacArthur. You said a moment ago that you can't concern yourself with the politics of all this, that you're trying to do the right thing, and that's admirable. But the politics, I would imagine, keep staring you in the face. You were already a target of the Democrats, and now you have a bigger target on your back because they would love to go after you since you were so involved in the ACHA. Do you worry about that at all?
I don't, Larry. I believe when you go to Congress and represent other people, you have to do the right thing. And I know what it's like, and I know what has to be done in part. I'm not saying I have every answer here, but I know that we have to fix this system where people are going to lose their health care and they're going to get hurt. And so I didn't go there to just take up space and to get myself reelected. I went there to solve problems. This may be the problem of our age, of our generation. How does our society provide and help people that are most vulnerable without breaking the backs of everyone else? How do we do that? It's not easy.
Do you care that there's columnists now that are saying, and that there's some Republicans that are saying you can no longer call yourself a moderate, that you're a conservative?
Well, I am what I am. I'm a centrist. There is no more bipartisan member of Congress in New Jersey than I am. That's my voting record. And it's been cited by a number of sources, including the Lugar Center puts me in the top 15% of bipartisan members. If you look at my voting record, you'll see it's right in the middle. It's not by plan, it's just that's how I vote. And so I just see this issue differently than some, and I don't want people to get hurt by a collapsing system.
Let's switch topics a little bit, because I know something you've been outspoken on is the slowness of the Sandy recovery, and you represent Ocean County. How are we doing now, years after Sandy?
Well, it hasn't been good for years now, and I think part of it was a lack of accountability. I called for the resignation of the director of FEMA, Mr. Fugate, for a long time. He's gone now. And I have had continuous meetings with the people that are there about getting this right. Think about this. If we had not gotten FEMA to reopen those files, which they did under pressure, it's been now reported $350 million has been paid since then in reopened claims and litigated claims. That's money that people would have been cheated out of.
Okay, so you got that money. Are we back now? Are those families okay?
No, they're not entirely. We have thousands of homes still not back to normal for a host of reasons. We're in the middle of the flood reauthorization now. That's a committee I serve on, and I have offered a bill that deals with affordability of flood insurance that is dramatically increasing the amount of money available for mitigation. Because if we invest in mitigation up front, I think we can avoid a lot of future flood losses. And my bill includes some accountability language. FEMA was hiring disbarred lawyers to handle claims. I mean, how ludicrous is that you hire somebody who's been proven and adjudicated to be unworthy in another state, and you hire them?
Are you concerned at all under the budget that just passed that there is cuts to FEMA, that would be cuts to the Army Corps of Engineers? Does that hurt in the Sandy recovery efforts?
Potentially, and I'm looking at that very closely. Remember, this is an initial budget by the administration. The House is also proposing our own budget. You know, I don't agree with everything in the budget so far. We're just starting to get into this process, but we have to adequately fund disaster relief. We have to fund the Army Corps is doing some of these critical projects that protect us from future harm, and that's very much on my radar.
But there was an increase in defense spending. Will that help with the joint bases?
Sure.
With Fort Dix and
sure.
McGuire?
I mean, that's the first responsibility of our government, is to protect our citizens. And we are still way, way below defense spending from even a decade or more ago. Defense spending has been squeezed year after year after year, and I think we could have used more, frankly. But when you consider our joint base here, we were able to get the KC-46 tankers assigned here. That's the new tanker, very important to our base. I was able to work with Donald Norcross, a Democratic colleague on the other side of the state, to protect the current tankers, the KC-10s. We're getting funding for new hangars at the base. That's important. This is a very unique asset, this base. It's the only tri-service military base in the country, and there are 80 missions going on as we sit here at the base. Every branch of the military and a whole host of other federal agencies have missions going on at the base. We have to protect it.
Sir, I appreciate you spending the time. I'd like to come back and talk. I know that you're chair of the heroin subcommittee, too, so another time I'd love to come back and talk to you about that. Congressman Tom MacArthur from New Jersey's 3rd Congressional District, who was in the center of the current Obamacare repeal and replacement, and I'm sure will continue to be a figure as it goes to the Senate. We'll be right back as Jersey Matters continues.